Solo leveling manga has been around for quite a while now, but it recently got animated and boy, it sure is one of the best already. Today, we will cover all the fights that make the show better. Here are the top moments from the world of solo leveling. Number 11. Death of Chris. Third in the world and the strongest hunter in America, Christopher Reed was one of the 5 national level hunters. Chris is a kind of person who takes pride in his work and power, but he is not the one to be messed. He's a bit cocky, but he does have some sense of intellect, unlike Thomas Ander. Chris is a sturdily built young man with blue eyes, little facial hair, and wavy brown hair that is shaved on both sides of his head. His eyes show light blue when he is utilizing his powers or when he is angry. Not long after an S-rank gate appeared in Maryland, Norma visited Chris and cautioned him of his oncoming death based on a vision she had received in her sleep. A few days later, Chris, not realizing he had been imprisoned inside a dimensional gap, woke up in the middle of the night to discover his house was strangely silent. Then 3 monarchs emerged, 2 from behind and 1 in front, and Chris knew that they had come to murder him. But Chris wasn't backing out. He pounces on the 3 monarchs, but it was just like fighting a losing battle. The 3 monarchs easily kill him like a piece of cake, and his body was later found in the ruins of his mansion. Number 10. Jinwoo's the God Statue. First up, we have the first face-off between Jinwoo and the God Statue. This is by far one of the coldest moments in the series when the party enters a dungeon to close it off and find another dungeon. So they entered it, and this was their worst mistake. They were trapped, and the God Statue killed the heroes mercilessly. That's when we see the sinister smile of the statue for the first time. Only Jinwoo was clever enough to see through its moves and was able to save some of his friends. However, it wasn't long before the statue of God stood up and started the massacre. Jinwoo lost his leg in the process, and now was the time for the ultimate sacrifice. All the other statues started attacking the hunters, and only Jinwoo, Mr. Song, and Jui were left alone. Jinwoo decided to make the ultimate choice and sacrificed himself to save his friends. But this was the beginning of Jinwoo's powerful journey. This moment was truly a gem because while others were running and screaming, Jinwoo was the only one to see it through and kept his calm in order to save his friends and accidentally gain the godly powers. Number 9. Jinwoo's the Ant King Baru. Most of you might remember the first chapter of Solo Leveling, where we see a bunch of heroes, including some S-rank heroes, fighting off against giant ants. Unfortunately, the fight was so brutal that the heroes had to retreat and reconsider their plan. Many low-rank hunters died, including some higher-rank hunters as well. The world almost forgot about the island, but soon they had to go to the island to fight a powerful being growing there. The second time, a whole bunch of S-rank heroes go to Jeju Island to destroy it once and for all. It included some well-known heroes like Japan's strongest hunter and Korea's best S-rank heroes, as well as the healers, but soon, the mighty Ant King Baru arrives at the nest. He kills the S-rank healer, Godo, Japan's strongest, and kills 8 S-rank heroes in an instant, as well as Cha Ha-in. Just when everything starts to fall apart, Jinwoo arrives at the scene to take care of the beast. The 2 behemoths fight in an amazing battle, but luck is on Jinwoo's side, so he beats the king with ease. However, after the fight, Jinwoo revives him and turns him into one of the strongest shadow soldiers, Baru. Number 8. Jinwoo's the Architect. Talking about revenge, Jinwoo returned to the double dungeon where he gained all of his powers from. After reaching level 100, Jinwoo returns to the dungeon where he comes face to face with the creator of the system, the Architect. The Architect tells Jinwoo that he will reveal all the truths and secrets he wants to know if he beats him. Actually, the Architect wanted to know whether Jinwoo could be a successor of Ashbourne or not, so Jinwoo agrees to face the creature that always haunted him. The 2 fight each other, and the Architect wakes up his mighty statues as well. Jinwoo was a weakling when he first entered this dungeon, but now he was levels above, so he takes on everyone with ease. Finally, the Architect reveals everything that Jinwoo wanted to know, and in the process, Jinwoo gets the Shadow Monarch's memories. However, after gaining everything, Jinwoo kills the creator so he can't harm any more S-rank heroes who venture into the dungeon. By far, this fight was cool and amazing. The panels in the manga are awesome, and Jinwoo just looks a total Chad when fighting with such big monsters. Number 7. Jinwoo's Ashbourne's strongest shadow soldier. During episode 10 of the anime, Jinwoo gets a strange notification, a job change quest, while clearing up a dungeon. Curious, Jinwoo agrees to follow the quest and goes to the desired location, but this was a grave mistake. During his quest, Jinwoo comes face to face with one of the strongest shadow soldiers, Igris. Igris is the blood-red commander and Ashbourne's strongest shadow soldier. At the time, Jinwoo was not what he would become later on. So Igris had the upper hand in the fight from the very beginning. Just like that, Igris is about to kill Jinwoo when Jinwoo suddenly blocks the mighty attack with his bare hands. This catches the commander off guard, and Jinwoo unleashes on him a tsunami of knife attacks. The Red Commander falls, and Jinwoo is luckily alive. Afterward, Jinwoo still thinks that he won the fight with pure luck. In spite of not having much battle experience and monster face-offs as compared to Igris, the Shadow Soldier, Jinwoo still managed to take him down, proving himself again. This is all due to the determination of Jinwoo to become stronger and protect his loved ones. The battle also showed Jinwoo's cunningness and battle awareness. Number 6. Jinwoo, the Monarch of Beginning. Legia is one of the strongest beings in the solo leveling universe. He is known as the Monarch of Beginning and also known as the Monarch of Giants due to its gigantic size. During the Japan Crisis arc, a number of S-ranked gates opened in Japan, so Japan had to contact Yuri Orlov, a S-ranked Russian hunter. He had many abilities like sensing ability and barrier magic and was able to close off one S-ranked gate. However, when the Giants raided the Earth, Yuri was killed. Later on, Jinwoo arrives at the scene and kills a horde of giant army, helping him to level up a bit. Then, Jinwoo confronts Legia. Legia tells him that he will join humanity to help them protect against the powerful angels that are coming to destroy the Earth called the Rulers. Jinwoo finds it suspicious and asks if he really wants to. Jinwoo was not so naive as to think Legia would genuinely fight beside him in the impending conflict, despite the Monarch's claims to the contrary, and the two finally faced off in a combat that would determine who would survive. Legia pounces on Jinwoo and they fight off in a bloodlust fight. Jinwoo killed Legia with a single blow, skillfully dodging all of his blows to demonstrate how far he had come from his early days as an E-rank hunter days. This fight at 11 gave Jinwoo 8 levels, and he was finally able to reach level 122. Number 5. Jinwoo defeats Thomas Ander. As the top hunter in the world, Thomas Ander is the strongest in America and one of the 5 national-level hunters. Huge and robust, Thomas is an overgrown blonde bearded guy who has long blonde hair, red eyes, a toothy smile, and black tattoos. He has brilliant yellow eyes that shine when he uses his talents or becomes angry. But why did Thomas Ander end up fighting Jinwoo? Well, this needs a backstory when Jinwoo killed Dangsu's brother during their gate clearance because he betrayed him and Jinho. As a result, Dangsu felt hatred towards both of them, and in order to lure Jinwoo out, he tortured Jinho, the vice master of Ajin Guild. Jinwoo couldn't stand it, so he beat the crap out of him. This led to Thomas Ander stopping Jinwoo from killing Dangsu, but Jinwoo refused. As a short-tempered bastard, Thomas goes berserker, and the two strongest hunters brawl with each other. When Jinwoo started to make Thomas bleed, Thomas tried to use all of his might to stop Jinwoo, but it was ineffective. After coming dangerously near to killing Thomas, Jinwoo decided to spare him, telling him afterward that he hadn't done anything that justified his death. Later on, Jinwoo and Thomas became friends with each other, and Thomas also gave Jinwoo Kamish's wrath for sparing the lives of his guild masters. Number 4. Jinwoo's the Monarch of White Flames. The Monarch arc is probably the best arc in the whole series, with different monarchs, each with their own unique abilities, and S-rank strengths are just pure gems. The same thing happened here. A fight worth watching 10 times when Jinwoo faced off with the Monarch of Flames and the King of Demons, Baron. Huge and powerful, Baron has gray skin, flame-like white hair, bright white eyes, a long tail, and 4 horns on his head, 2 of which were curled and extremely long. Eons ago, Baron fought alongside the Monarch and also fought Ashbrown on the orders of the strongest Monarch, but failed. Even though with a huge difference in power, Baron still fought him. He is the one who doesn't back out from a fight and prioritizes death over cowardness. The last boss in the dungeon was Baron, who significantly outmatched Jinwoo in terms of strength and sheer power. Jinwoo's situation was made worse by his leadership of Hell's army, which let him call demons through portals. Nevertheless, he ultimately outwitted Baron by severing his left arm and dealing a fatal blow. Number 3. Jinwoo's the Beast and Frost Monarch. Following a bloody battle between Sung Jinwoo, the Beast Monarch, and Quairesha, the Monarch of Plagues, the Monarch of Frost, Jinwoo was pierced through the chest by Reiken, the Beast Monarch. Much of Sung Jinwoo's army was frozen by the Frost Monarch early in the battle, but Beru broke through and defeated the Plague Monarch. However, they didn't confirm if Jinwoo was really dead. Jinwoo's heart starts beating again, and the Monarchs attempt to attack Sung Jinwoo to stop his rebirth, but Jinwoo's father, Sung Il-hwan, stops them. Reiken knew that Jinwoo was going to return soon and fled through one of his portals in panic, but Jinwoo's heart was in a rhythm, and so he was reborn again as the true Shadow Monarch. Jinwoo's aura suddenly fills the entire planet, and he teleports to a faraway area after spotting the Beast Monarch there. Jinwoo kills the Beast Monarch with 5 attacks without any effort. Jinwoo teleports back to Frost Monarch's position after eliminating the Beast Monarch, and with just a few strikes, he eliminates him as well. Number 2. Jinwoo becomes a Shadow Monarch. While fighting the 3 monarchs that we saw previously, Reiken pierced through Jinwoo, and that's when he met Ashbourne, the true Shadow Monarch, or you could say the King of the Dead. He is also the strongest ruler and was known as the greatest fragment of brilliant light. The architect invited Jinwoo back to the double dungeon once he attained level 100s so that Ashbourne might use him as his vessel. Regretfully for the architect, Ashbourne intended to transmit his abilities to Jinwoo so that he would become his successor rather than using Jinwoo as his vessel. He made the decision to betray the architect as a result, denying him access to the system and giving Jinwoo his dark heart. In an attempt to keep things concise, Ashbourne gave Jinwoo a brief introduction and filled him in on all the details. When he was done, Ashbourne gave Jinwoo 2 options: either end his battle with the monarchs or spend all of eternity inside his own fantasy realm. Jinwoo, of course, went with the first choice, and Ashbourne said goodbye and returned to the real world to kick some monarch ass. Number 1. Jinwoo's Antares, the Monarch of Destruction. Antares, the King of Dragons and Monarch of Destruction, is the last antagonist in solo leveling. Of the 9 original monarchs, he is the oldest and strongest. He possesses amazing strength and a passion for killing and destruction. When it comes to confronting Ashbourne's heir, Jinwoo, Antares is even more formidable than the former Shadow Monarch. When Antares and Jinwoo eventually faced up in combat, Antares launched a massive army attack, but Jinwoo used the potent dragon's fear ability to repel the assault. As a result, the 2 adversaries engaged in a fierce one-on-one duel in which Antares seemed to be winning most of the time. Jinwoo doesn't want to fight in the city, so he teleports him to a deserted island where they go all out. It was all Jinwoo's plan to lure him out in the open, and suddenly, the rulers arrive and launch massive blows to Antares that finally kill the bastard for the greater good. By far, this is the most intense fight in the manga, and is yet to come at the end of the anime.